Hello, Stephen and Nicole. Taking a look at our PlayStation 5 here. I don't know if I realized last time I took a look at this, but we got some pretty decent crayon marks here right at the entrance for our optical drive. Let's go ahead and open this up. Let's take a closer look. I'm not too sure how old the system is. It's PlayStation 5 Slam, so it's a newer model. Decent amount of dust accumulation here, so might be worth opening the system and giving a good cleaning on the inside and cleaning out all the internals as well. So I'll ask you if you want me to do that, but let's go ahead and take a look at the optical drive for now, because that's what we know we're here for. One of the first things I am noticing is that there is a little bit of rattle here. You can probably hear that. And we do have a spring that fell out right away here. Just gonna carefully grab that, put it somewhere safe on that magnet. And yeah, we've got some fairly beat up plastics here. This is bent up and out, so it's gonna have to get reseated for sure. And I need to figure out exactly where that spring came from as well. I'm less familiar with this model than I am with the older models, but I guess that's partly because the older model has been around longer and I've opened up more than those than I have of these, so I don't know exactly where that spring came from, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and keep disassembling. We'll get the discs out and we'll pick things up and go from there. I was expecting to see discs in here. I guess I don't. However, I do know that this main plastic bracket here is a problem for sure. It's not supposed to be bent up that way, so I'm gonna try and fix this. This is gonna be, I'm gonna take a guess, a good amount of our problem here. It might be our only major problem, so we'll see if we can get this reseated. Okay, I think I got our guides and center replaced and spring back in place. So I think this is reassembled correctly. Let's go ahead and put this back together. One thing I will say is it's quite clean in here. I'll do a cursory cleaning, but it isn't much that I'm going to need to do, I don't think. Alright, got everything seated again. Things to the naked eye look the way that they're supposed to me. So we'll just keep reassembling here. We cleaned up our rollers with isopropyl. We cleaned up our flywheel and some of the internal components, but again, pretty clean on the inside. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish putting this together. Optical drive isn't completely back together yet, but it should be reassembled enough that we should be able to get a good test here. Moment of truth. I'm finding out if this is gonna work. Same time you guys are. Alright, and I'm gonna repeat this a couple of times just because I want to be sure. But it looks like that top bracket inside came unseated, so it doesn't look like we're gonna need to order any parts or anything. Looks like we're gonna be pretty good and perfectly healthy this year. We do have a little bit of a weird hum on the optical drive, not when it's spinning up, but when it's taking and ejecting. I don't think that's quite normal, but that might also be because I don't have all the screws set in yet. Looks like we're trying to copy. I'm just gonna give it a moment and make sure that it's actually reading data. 1%. It's reading data. I'm just gonna do this one more time, just to make absolute sure. You can hear this hum here that I'm talking about. And then, hopefully, have any more issues for a good while here. So, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and finish reassembling the optical drive. We'll get this shut down, and let's go ahead and get this back home. No screws left, means that we quite likely have everything exactly where it's supposed to go. Looks good. Warranty seal 137658. give it one last shot.